Hey, beautiful friend. Welcome back to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsey, and today we are having one of those real vulnerable combos that I hope is going to give you so much hope for your own journey. I got a message this week from a woman in my community that stopped me in my tracks. She said, Lindsey, I'm wondering, do you have bad body image days like ever? What does recovery actually look like with body image years later? What do you do when those old thoughts creep in? Do they creep in? And girlfriend, I sat there for a moment because this is just such an important question that I don't think we talk enough about. There's this myth floating around that recovery means you never struggle again. And you reach some magical finish line where body image issues, they just disappear in the cloud forever. And this simply is not true. So today I'm pulling back the curtain completely because I'm going to share exactly what I do on those days when those old familiar feelings start showing up. Because yes, they still do sometimes, even years after. But here's what's different now. I have tools, I have perspective, and most importantly, I have grace for myself. Hang with me in today's episode so that you can see what life can look like on the other side of your eating disorder. Not because it's perfect, but because it's so much more peaceful than where you might be today. So let's get right into today's episode. Here we go. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsey Nickel, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess trapped in a destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom, and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it so you can start living your best life as your best self. First, let me be completely honest with you. Yes, I still have days where I don't feel amazing in my body. Maybe I'm bloated, maybe I'm PMSing, maybe I caught a glimpse of myself in a dressing room mirror with those god-awful fluorescent lights. Or maybe I'm stressed about something in my business, or going through a hard season of my marriage, or with my boys. And my body just becomes the target for those feelings. This is totally normal, and this is the reality check I wanted to pour into the mic for you to hear today, friend. But the difference is this. These moments used to consume entire weeks, months of my life. They used to send me spiraling into immediate restriction, immediate overexercise, detoxes, pills, laxatives, or complete avoidance of social situations. The difference now, they might last an hour, a second, maybe a day at most where I'm just not feeling it. But I have a toolkit that actually works. And that's why I do what I do. And here's what I want you to understand. Having these moments, it doesn't mean that I'm not recovered. It means I'm human. Your journey is unique. And part of that journey, it includes learning how to be gentle with yourself when life isn't so gentle. So today I wanted to walk you through exactly what I do now when those old familiar friends and feelings start knocking on my door. So this is my 8-step toolkit, and I'm going to try to go through it rather quickly so that this episode is not a gazillion minutes long. But you might want to get a journal and a notebook just so that you can take some of these tangibles with you, because I truly find them so valuable. And I just want to make sure that I'm doing my due diligence to get you something that you can use this week when you're not feeling it. Okay, step number 1 is I have to give myself grace upon grace. The very first thing that I do, and this is so important, do not skip this, is I give myself permission to feel whatever I'm feeling without judgment of that feeling. I used to immediately panic when body image thoughts would show up, like, oh no, I'm not recovered enough, or I should be so past this by now. Now I pause and I say to myself, it's okay that you're having this thought. You're human. This doesn't mean anything about your worth or your recovery or your journey. And I literally talk to myself the way that I would talk to my best friend who is struggling or to a client. Because recovery isn't about never having a difficult moment. Being recovered, it doesn't mean you're never going to have a bad body image thought. It's about how quickly you can return to love and gentleness with yourself when you do. So that's where I start every single time. Grace upon grace. Step number 2, I immediately throw on some comfy, baggy clothes. Like, I'm not even going to go there. This might sound super simple, but girlfriend, this is a game changer. I immediately put on my most comfortable, loose-fitting clothes. I'm talking the soft jams, the oversized shirt, maybe my favorite cozy cardigan is fine, but this isn't about hiding my body. It's about removing any physical discomfort that might be amplifying my emotional discomfort. Okay, that's what I want you to hear. When I'm not constantly aware of how clothes are fitting on me, I can focus on how I actually feel instead of how I think I look. And this is what is so super important. I get rid of the jeans. Like, why do I need to put myself in tight-fitting clothes? It doesn't matter what size they are. They're still going to be constraining. So I'm just going to put on my Target sweatpants and I'm going to put my hair in a bun and life will go on. You can focus on how you actually feel instead of how you think you look when you're not feeling uncomfortable in what you're wearing. The next time you're having a bad body image day or moment, I want you to give yourself some grace upon grace and throw on some comfy, baggy clothes. Step number 3, get to the root. We have to stop plucking the weeds and expecting different results. This is when I get serious instead of getting critical about myself. And I ask myself, what is really going on here, Linz? What are you really trying to control by focusing on controlling your body? Maybe I'm feeling overwhelmed with the business and my body feels like the one thing I can control. Maybe I'm anxious about a relationship or a friendship and I'm projecting that onto how I look. Maybe I'm just tired and my brain is defaulting to old patterns and behaviors. But 9 times out of 10, the body image struggle is actually about something else entirely. And when I can identify what I'm really trying to control, and when you can identify what you're really trying to control, then you can address the actual issue instead of taking it out on your body. Step number 4, and this one requires some serious discipline, but I consciously avoid mirrors for the rest of that day. Okay, so if I am going through something in my mind where I'm feeling inadequate and I start picking apart myself or whatever it may be, then why am I gonna put myself in a place where the temptation to look at myself in the mirror and do some body checking is not gonna go well, right? Because my intention is going to be to show up and pick things apart that I don't like. So no analyzing, no seeking reassurance from a reflection. Body checking always makes things worse when you're not in a good mind space to receive it. It's like picking at a wound and expecting it not to bleed. So I redirect that energy toward things that actually serve me. If I catch myself hitting toward a mirror that day, I'm literally turning around and finding something else to do. There's no need to go down that. And the same I want to grant for you. If you're finding yourself picking apart your body on a day where you're not feeling good in your body, what is that doing for you? Here's step number 5. On difficult body image days, that voice in your mind might say something like, maybe you should skip lunch, or maybe you should eat cleaner tomorrow. Step number 5 is all about honoring myself with mindful eating. And I honor myself eating normally anyway, regardless of the thoughts. I choose foods that are going to nourish me, foods that are going to taste good, foods that are going to make me feel satisfied. And I eat regularly at regular times, frequently, every couple hours, instead of restricting. I don't punish my body for how I'm feeling emotionally in the moment. Because here's the thing, those feelings will pass. They're not facts. And this is such a powerful way, friend, to show yourself that no, I'm not going back to old patterns and behaviors. No matter what I might feel in the moment, my body deserves consistent energy, consistent nourishment, consistent nutrition, regardless of any temporary feelings about it. Step number 6, I want you to notice exercise compulsions and I want you to pause. or notice any sort of interesting behaviors that are coming up for you when you're having a bad body image day. Here's a sneaky one. On bad body image days, your brain might suddenly get motivated to start a new intense workout routine or to do a little bit of extra cardio just for your health. Like maybe you just should walk another lap. I've learned to pause and to ask myself, am I wanting to move my body from a place of love and energy, or am I wanting to punish it to try to change it? Because there's nothing wrong with it. And if it's the latter, then I will choose gentle movement like yoga, or maybe a outside walk to get in with nature, or some stretching, or just plain resting. And I know that can be hard to hear when you're struggling with compulsive exercise or very overstrenuous exercise. But sis, you can do hard things, including sitting with uncomfortable feelings without trying to exercise them away. You can. Your body is not the problem that needs to be fixed through more intense workouts. It's your mind. And so if we can continue to pause and notice, that is the first step. Like, let's notice when those things are coming up, and then let's pause and reflect on what we're going to do next, because you do have the choice of what you're going to do next. Step number 7 is no social media scrolling. So if I'm having a bad body image day, this one is a non-negotiable for me. And I know that might sound a little insane, but on difficult days, I stay completely off Instagram or any other platform where I might compare myself to other people or get triggered by the diet culture messaging. Like, why are we there? Instead, I might read a good book, or I might call a friend, or do something creative with my kids. I am choosing to protect my mental space very fiercely because I know that comparison is the thief of joy, especially on vulnerable days. Step number 8, and this is the final one that I'm going to leave you with today. I ask myself on these days, how do I want to feel? This is where the magic happens. I shift my focus from how do I look, or how I think I look, or maybe you see a picture and it's not how you feel you look and you don't like the picture, or whatever it is. How do I want to feel about this picture? How do I want to feel in my body right now? Maybe I want to feel strong, so I do some gentle stretching, or maybe I want to feel cozy, so I make some tea and I snuggle under a blanket. Maybe I just want to feel connected, so I reach out to somebody that I love. Or maybe it's I want to feel loved, I want to feel cherished, I feel unworthy in some way. Sis, here's what's fascinating. Research actually shows that when we focus on what we want to feel rather than how we think we look, it actually changes our body image in real time. I know it's mind-blowing, but our thoughts about our bodies directly impact how we experience being in our bodies, doing life in our bodies. And when I choose thoughts of strength, when I choose thoughts of comfort and choose thoughts of gratitude, then those are the feelings that become my actual experience, versus when I choose the thought of, oh, I don't like my stomach today, or why are my legs so big, or oh my gosh, I'm gaining so much weight. It says those thoughts aren't serving you. And here's the thing. I know sometimes it feels like we can't pluck our thoughts out of our brain, because we would if we could. But I want you to ask yourself the simple question on a bad body image day. How do I want to feel? Here's what I want you to know. These tools work because they're rooted in self-compassion instead of self-criticism. And they work because they honor that you are a human and you don't have to demand being perfect. You're not going to be. Recovery, it isn't about never struggling. Okay, so anyone that tells you they never have a thought is just simply lying. It's about struggling with love instead of being at war with yourself and your body and being at war in your own mind. It's about having a bad day without having bad weeks or bad months. It's about trusting that difficult feelings are temporary and you have everything that you need inside of you to navigate them. You're exactly where you need to be right now. Progress over perfection, always. You deserve kindness from yourself, especially on the hard days. But as I was preparing for this episode, I kept thinking about how different my life might have been if I had a community of women who understood this journey, who could normalize these things and these experiences and remind me that I wasn't alone in having complicated days, even when I thought I should no longer be having them. And that's exactly why I created the Recovery Collective. because recovery is so much sweeter when you're not doing it by yourself. The Recovery Collective is where women in all phases of recovery can come together every other week to share exactly these kinds of real and vulnerable moments. In that space, we normalize these messy parts. We celebrate victories. We even celebrate small victories, and we support each other through the challenges with these types of tools and with understanding as well. I want you to imagine having a safe place to go to where you could share that you're having a difficult day with your body and not wanting to look at yourself and feeling big in your body and just having all these thoughts and feelings and emotions. And you can bring that to a place of women that aren't judging you for it, but they're understanding you for it. And they're giving you these gentle reminders of your worth. That's what we're creating together. You're going to connect with women who understand where you are, and you are going to feel so much hope and inspiration. So if this episode resonated with you and you're ready to really navigate recovery in real life, then I want to invite you to the Recovery Collective. You can go on out to herbestself.co/recovery collective, sign up, and I will shoot you over a follow-up email with all of the details. I hope that the behind the scenes look into my life is going to give you some hope for your week, because you don't have to be perfect, and I'm not perfect. And it's not that people who have recovered never struggle. It's that they continue to keep showing up for themselves and doing the hard things. They continue to choose love over fear. They continue to have grace over judgment. If this episode helped you today, I want you to share it with someone who might need to hear it. And remember that you are doing the hard things just by listening to the show and engaging with this content. Be so gentle with yourself, friend, because you are beautiful inside and out. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time, bye for now, girl.